How's it going, guys? Your boy Jetscreamer doing a podcast solo this time. Grandmaster Universe. She's on a little vacation right now, so you got me by myself talking about the whole Batman Ben Affleck thing. A lot of you guys who follow me already know my feelings about this, but for those of you who don't know, I figured I'd do a podcast so I can get like my thoughts and my concerns about this out to everyone. So buckle up, sit back, and enjoy the show. Alright, first off, I wanted to say I think it's a terrible idea to have Ben Affleck as Batman. But I will say that I get it. I understand why they want to use Ben Affleck as Batman. He has the look. He has the reputation right now. He has 2 Academy Awards. None of them are for acting, though. So he does have that chin. He does have the height. He does have the build to look like Batman. Bruce Wayne, for that matter. But his acting is nowhere near been in the caliber of being good enough to be Bruce Wayne or Batman, for that matter. He can't do one role well. He's had more bad movies than he's had good movies. A lot of people criticize The Town for being so amazing. The Town was a very bad movie. The only good thing about The Town was the heist, the shoot 'em up parts inside the movie. The love story was absolutely boring. The person who sold the show in The Town was Jeremy Renner. And a lot of people know that, they're just not going to say it. I think a lot of folks who follow these movies for Academy Award and stuff like that are all kind of cliquey, kind of socialites with everyone who watch the same type of movies. Said, "Oh, well, that was a good movie," and other people say, "Oh, well, that was a good movie. Yeah, that was also a good movie." I'm not saying that I didn't like the movie because there was Ben Affleck in it. I actually saw it in theaters. I wouldn't go see The Town in theater because the trailer just looked amazing, and the movie was a big letdown for me. Just a huge letdown for me. I never really liked Ben Affleck, even from the days of Mallrats, but I've seen everything, just about everything he's been in. Maybe 1 or 2 movies. I haven't seen Hollywoodland, but I recently acquired that movie, so I'm going to watch that here pretty soon. I don't just say I don't like something because I don't like it. I watch a lot of different movies. I had people say to me before that I don't know much about movies. I've been watching movies since I was 5 years old. I know a thing or two when it comes to movies. I'm not a big indie kind of movie guy. I like more big budget films, but I like big budget films that has more pizzazz and flair to it. I did like The Dark Knight, but I thought Batman Begins were better. I have my own taste. Other people have their own taste also. I like more origin stories when it comes to comic book movies. But getting back to the task at hand, Ben Affleck should not be the Dark Knight. There's nothing in my body that says to myself that he should be the Dark Knight. But again, I see where Hollywood is going with this. I see why Hollywood is choosing him to do this. He is kind of like an A-lister now. He did recently just get an Academy Award. He does have the dark tone. He does have the black hair. His acting is like faux pas. It's good enough to get by, but it's not good enough to become Batman or Bruce Wayne. Every actor has their own kind of quirks when they act. You see Denzel Washington. He gets very loud when he starts talking. He goes on rants when he's acting. Will Smith, he starts shouting at people. You see Robin Williams, he goes on little like tirades, whether it's comical or not. Glenn Close, she has a very stern kind of acting style to her, just like Meryl Streep. They have a very similar kind of acting style, but every actor has their own little flair that they do in every single performance they do. And Ben Affleck, he stutters when he acts. He stutters, he shrugs. I can't see that being Batman. I can't see that. Again, I want to keep saying this over and over again. I can see why Hollywood did this, but I'm not happy about it. There's nothing good about this whatsoever. Nothing at all. And I want to try and get over this. I want to try to get past it, but I'm kind of done with DC and Warner Brothers after this. I've already stopped reading their comics. I've already stopped buying and reading DC comics. I try to get back to it over and over again, but after this reboot, I didn't respect that choice that DC made, and I decided to stop reading it. The same with now with Warner Brothers. If they're gonna keep doing movies and putting bad casting choices like this inside of movies, I'm gonna be done with that company also. Now, I'm not telling other people out there to do the same thing. This is just what I'm talking about for myself. You guys listen to this because you guys respect my opinion, and I got respect you guys' opinion also. But this is just no good for me. This does me no good, and this is bad for the image of Batman. Batman has an image. Batman has a reputation. We figured that after the Joel Schumacher thing, that we would be done with having bad casting calls as Batman. There's nothing in my body that says Ben Affleck can pull this off. Nothing at all. And a lot of people are saying, give it a shot, just wait and see. People say the same thing about Heath Ledger. Me personally, I never said this about Heath Ledger. I watched The Order. I watched Ned Kelly. I watched other movies that he's been in. The Patriot. 10 Things I Hate About You. People may say that's a girly chick flick movie, but his acting in it was amazing. He was the best part about that movie. So, I seen lots of movies. I seen Halle Berry. And I knew that from the get-go, having Halle Berry as one of the alternate versions of Catwoman is just going to be a terrible idea. No one was ready for it. No one wanted to see that. So that from the get-go was just a bad idea. And this here is also going to be a bad idea. I can't see Ben Affleck having a good back and forward with Alfred Pennyworth. I can't see him having like a good confrontation with Kal-El, with Superman. Or having a good back and forth with Bryan Cranston, who's going to be Lex Luthor now. I can't see that in my head. I'm not going to go see this movie either. So I guess I'll never get to see this. But it's just the whole idea of this is just too much for me, I suppose. It's kind of like a final cut for me. I'm just done with it. Marvel let me down in the beginning also. They had a lot of bad movies. They had Elektra. They did have Daredevil. They had that crappy Ghost Rider movie. They've had a lot of bad flops also. The Spider-Man movie, couldn't stand that movie either. The sequel was had good parts in it, but all in all, I didn't like it. So Marvel has some bad movies. I kept up with them. Their casting calls have not been as bad as this one here. It hasn't been to the point it's like, okay, what the fuck are you guys doing? Why are you guys casting this person as this superhero? This makes absolutely no sense. So I'm still going to stick it out with Marvel for a little bit longer until they do something stupid also. I like being a passionate comic book fan. I like having like my opinion being heard by folks. I like being able to go to a theater and enjoy myself while I'm watching a comic book movie. And I feel like I won't do that if I go see this Batman Ben Affleck movie. Because that's what it is now. It's a Ben Affleck movie. It's not a Superman movie anymore. And that's what it is. It's a Superman sequel with Batman in it. The reason why they titling it Batman versus Superman is beyond me instead of Superman versus Batman. But I guess they're playing Batman as the anti-hero. But this is just no good. This is just no good. You see all these memes out there. They got the whole people in uproar. Hollywood got what they wanted. They're going to get asses in seats now because of this movie. This is what they wanted to do. They wanted to get people so outraged that they're going to go see this movie. That's per what they did the very same thing with Heath Ledger, but Heath Ledger had his acting to back it up. So they made that casting call and his acting to back it up. I don't see that happening with Ben Affleck. I'm going to get a lot of slack for this. I know I am. A lot of you guys can say I'm wrong, I'm crazy. Some of you may say I'm right, that you agree with me. But you guys can wait and see when it comes out. Tell me what you think about it when it comes out, because again, I will not be watching it. I hate to be so dramatic about this, but my mom always told me you gotta pick your battles, and this is a battle that I already lost. A lot of us already lost. A lot of us who agree with what I believe, we already lost the battle. So I'm kind of done with it. I hate to be so negative on the podcast to you guys, but I guess that's how it is this time. But if you have any questions, you have any things you want to talk about, leave me some comments down below. And until next time, you guys be frosty.